Cornwall and it's time to have a little look at my capsule wardrobe that I finished. Some things didn't get done. I'm really sorry, I totally ran out of time. But the things I did make were brilliant, and I wore loads together and as combinations, so let's have a look. Okay, so first up in the collection was what I used as the key print to kind of mix everything together and that everything would go with. So I made 2 items in my capsule wardrobe using this print. First one was my dress. So this is the Scopolos print from Art Gallery Fabrics in the jersey. So this is the Dixie DIY t-shirt dress, which is actually a free pattern. So if you have seen my previous videos, I will have told you I made a muslin, wearable muslin, and it is shockingly short on me. So I lengthened this one 4 inches just to make sure I had enough, and that hit me below the knee. And as most people know, I'm 5'3½", which is very important. So that just goes to show it's a little bit on the short side, but perfect, lovely little pattern and free, so definitely worth a go. I then went and made what I guess is an old favourite, which is the Grainline Lark Tee. So I've lost count of how many of these I have. I have probably 5 or 6, but easily could have made more and will be making more in the future. So this is a Lark Tee. This is the scoop neck version with the cap sleeve on it. I was running out of fabric by the time I got to this one, and I had to shorten it by, I think it was something like 6 inches, and I was worried about that, thinking it was going to be too short, but actually it's a perfect length on me. If I hadn't have shortened it, I wouldn't have been able to get the sleeves out. And thankfully I did. The pattern matching isn't ideal, it's not too bad on the front, but this one was just a case of trying to get it out of the fabric, but I'm really pleased that I did, because I've already worn this absolutely loads, just with jeans and a cardigan. It goes with so much else in my wardrobe because of the pinks and the corals and the blues, so that is a great one. That's the Lark Tee. In order to get those things mixing with others, I was hoping to get some ginger jeans done. Most of you on Instagram will have seen that I abandoned them. Not in a horrible way, I love them to bits, and I will finish making them. It's just that I'd been putting on a little bit of weight, and obviously I realised that I would be putting on a little bit more in Cornwall, eating all the fish and chips and cream teas and things that are amazing in Cornwall, and so they didn't fit. I'd cut a 14 instead of a 16 because my 16s are way too big. So I figured, okay, well, we'll go down a size. My hips weren't too bad in the 16s, and I think that's where my problem was. And I took out quite a lot of the seam allowance, but then the seam starts popping, which is a nightmare, and I didn't want that to happen on holiday. So I cut my losses on those. I can show you them as they are now, but they are not finished. So still got bits of pattern here. So far they're not bad. So they're in this lovely light denim from Guthrie Garney that you will have seen in one of my fabric hauls. I have used this fabric, which I've used in another part of my capsule wardrobe, which I thought would tie them in nicely without being too, this all goes together. But yeah, so far, there's a back there. They are not bad, but I would like to, I've gone back to eating healthily, and hopefully within a few weeks I will fit back into these and I will be able to finish them up. So that is my ginger jeans. I'm really sorry guys that I didn't photograph those in Cornwall because I hadn't finished them, but they would have been perfect to go with my Lark Tee, and also I wanted them to go with this item too. So this is my Ogden Cami. This is my ladies print I bought from Fabric Godmother, but then Ditto had it, and somebody on Instagram asked me where I got it from, and I was really sorry that I didn't know whether anyone had it left, but it's this one here. So you will have seen this in a fabric haul a little while ago. It's an Ogden Cami. I made a size 14, which I had a lot of room in. So I might unpick it and take it back in. I'd made a smaller one and I couldn't work out what I'd done wrong because I'd just taken the side seams in the amount that I thought I needed, so I think I need about an inch on either side. It turns out when I looked at the pattern when I was teaching a friend how to make it, I realised they're 1/4 inch seams and I'd been doing standard 5/8 seams, so it's my own fault. I'd been sewing my clothes too tight. So I will definitely be adjusting the pattern again and making sure that I definitely use 1/4 inch seams for the Ogden Cami, because I think that's where I was going wrong. I've got 2 that are lovely but just slightly too tight on the bust. They fit everywhere else, so it's a bit of a shame, but that's okay. We can adjust that. So this is my ladies print. This is a crepe, I should say. It's really lovely Italian crepe, and I'm really pleased I finally got to make this and finally wore it, because I wore it out as like my going out top in Cornwall, and that was lovely because it was just enough to kind of look a bit dressy, but I could wear it with jeans, or I could kind of chuck a cardigan over it as well. So that was a really lovely one. I'm really pleased I got that sewn up. The next thing I did as kind of a connector for a lot of the other pieces so that I could wear them together, my connecting piece was my Cleo, my Tilly and the Buttons Cleo. I'm really pleased with this one. Before I show you it, it's a little bit wrinkled from the wash because I've just washed it because I wore it to death in Cornwall. I'm really pleased with how this one came out. I was like iffy about whether a pinafore dress was something I'd wear. It's not normally my style, but I'd seen lots of people make them in kind of crazy prints and things like that, and I was like, do you know what? I just need a mid denim. I don't need anything fancy. I just want it to layer over things and kind of be comfortable with. So what I did was I made a mid denim one, and I'm really pleased with it. This was leftover Stanton denim from Village Haberdashery, but I know we've got it at Fabric Godmother as well, but it's not called Stanton. I think I made a 14, but here it is. It's, like I said, a little bit crumpled from the wash because it's literally just, I've just grabbed it to film because it's sort of a convenient light. I'm really pleased with my top stitching. Ooh, she really is wrinkled, isn't she? I might have to press it and then give you a bit more of a show of that one. But yes, I'm really pleased with my top stitching. I went for the gold sort of coppery top stitching, which I loved. I think that's beautiful. And surprisingly, I've worn it loads. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do, but I like dungarees and I don't really know why I didn't think I'd like it. But it is perfect for layering. So all my Lark Tee, so this is another Lark Tee. So it's perfect just over the top of a Lark Tee with some tights and boots, which for winter is basically my wardrobe. A Mabel skirt, a top, and tights and boots is what I'd normally wear. So actually it worked really well, but kind of, yeah, as a pinafore dress, I think I'm going to get loads of wear out of it, which is a real surprise, but a really welcome one because I'm really pleased that it's come out as nicely as it has. And the instructions were brilliant, and it's super, super quick. If you're somebody that's used to making and you're used to the kind of construction of those sorts of things, total doddle. The only complaint I have is that the straps are not adjustable. I would have liked to be able to adjust my straps depending on what kind of top I have and depending on the neckline of my top, because I found that sometimes it's a little bit too high, say for a scoop neck lark, but I would have liked to have lowered it a bit if I was wearing something high necked, so it could balance out a little bit better. And I was expecting that to be in the pattern and it wasn't, so I was a bit sort of, how can I get around that? But because you put your dungaree clips on after you've sewn the back, or you've sewn the straps into the back rather, you've already stuffed it because you've already sewn into the back. So what you'd have to do is turn everything back through again to unpick that, to make the straps adjustable, and find some adjustable clips somewhere, because they don't come with the denim clips, dungaree clips, and then put them in. So I can understand why Tilly's not done it. because it would be an almighty faff, but I think that would have added just that little bit extra to my Cleo dungaree dress. So that's the only quibble that I have, but other than that, I really like that dress. I think it's brilliant, and I will be sort of inserting photos from Cornwall in as I go. I tried to get everything, but I realised I don't think that I've got photos of my Art Gallery Lark Tee. So just to let you know, if you missed that one, it's probably me, not you guys. The other thing I was hoping to finish, and would have given me a whole lot more choices in my wardrobe, was the Agnes tee. So this one, I was trying to finish almost sort of to the point where we got up for sort of 6 o'clock in the morning to get in on the road for Cornwall, and I was still sewing this at 10 o'clock at night, and I just didn't quite get there. And it could have been worn, and it's still not finished, but I thought I'd show you anyway to give you the kind of idea of where I was going with it. And in fact, I used a Gap t-shirt in exactly the same colour that I have, that's short sleeve, that worked totally fine in terms of the capsule element of it, so that was okay. But this is what I intended. It's not actually overlocked, and I've just put my neckband and things in, so it's a little bit dodgy at the top. But this is just a long sleeve Agnes tee. I was hoping that I could get the gathers in the front. I'll insert a picture of that one if you've not seen it before. I was hoping that I could get the gathers in and hem it before we went, and I just ran out of time. I've got navy thread on the overlocker ready to kind of sew it up and just through, and I ran out of time. But that's fine, because I know that I would definitely wear this with my Cleo, with my ginger jeans once they're finished, and so that would have been a perfect part of the capsule. But like I said, time just totally ran out on me on that one. So that is my Agnes tee. That was a really gorgeous, I think it's a modal blend, I'm pretty sure, modal blend jersey from, I think, Ditto. But yes, that's going to be so comfy in the winter, and I probably would have been a little bit hot in St Ives, to be honest, although it did rain most of the time. But that's England for you. So we're getting on to the last two things now. I was really excited about these because one of them I wore absolutely loads, and the other is a bit of a departure from my style. So we'll go for the next thing that is more of a departure. I've definitely got photos of this one because I took some on the beach just as it started raining. This is a Kalle dress. Yay! Really gorgeous Kalle dress. So I made this out of a herringbone, it's like a brush cotton, and this has been in my stash, I think 8 years. It's been there forever. So this is not the fabric you were expecting. You were expecting my Atelier Brunette double gauze, and I am still going to make that one, but I was trying to make a wearable muslin first to see if I liked it, and actually I made the dress version in this one. So this is the dress version with the high-low hem. Let me see if I can just show you the high-low hem. Again, sorry, it's a little bit crinkled. It's come straight out of the wash. So this is the lovely dipped hem version, high-low, and I love it. It's beautiful, and I did wear it. I prefer it belted, definitely. I wore it with like a brown belt, and I've only got buttons starting kind of here, but to be honest, I only sort of button it from there and wear a vest top. It's much more kind of chic that way, and I'm a little bit disappointed because in my photos I was in a rush and I did it up to there, and I think it's a little bit unflattering. But I really love this one, and I definitely will wear it in the winter with tights. And I think in the summer it's nice and breezy. It would be a good holiday dress to wear over your swimsuit, you know, just to kind of go to the beach, that sort of thing. I am definitely going to make it in the double gauze, but I will make a shirt because I think the shirt will be more useful. And like I said, this was my sort of wearable muslin. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do all the construction and all that kind of stuff. So really pleased with Kalle. We'll definitely be making some more, and I was really happy with Heather Lou's instructions as well. I thought they were really, really good. I think I mentioned on another video about doing the burrito method for the insides, and it's so good that I keep forgetting which way round I'm meant to be wearing it, because it's so inside and out is totally enclosed because of that lovely burrito method, and it is fab. So on the back, let me show you the back as well so you get a bit of an idea. It also gives you the option whether you want the box pleat or whether you want the inverted pleat on the outside, which is cool because I know that it depends on people's shirt making preferences whether they want box pleats or inverted pleats. So I went for the box pleat on the outside just because I preferred the look, really. So that is my Kalle dress. This fabric, yeah, like I said, was from Barcelona about 8 years ago, so I don't think we can find it anywhere. But I was pleased that it went into my capsule wardrobe because it kind of went with the orangey tones in my art gallery fabrics. So I was pleased that that one could go in. Also, I could hypothetically wear it under Cleo again, as a kind of underneath, and then I've got like a shirt sort of situation. I'm on my last one in my capsule that I managed to make. You've already seen me wear it because I love it, and I've been wearing it loads, and I was really surprised that, again, that it was the sort of thing that was a bit of a departure from my style. Here it is. This is the Sew Over It Kimono. Okay, it's lovely. You've seen me wear it already because this thing's literally not been off my body since I made it. I used French seams. It's really gorgeous. Super quick to make. My French seams I was quite pleased with because I don't know how easy it is to see that. But yes, so I French seamed right the way around the whole entirety of the garment so that it's nice and crisp, and because it's quite airy and light, I thought it made it sort of just a bit more special. So yeah, literally I will be putting it on now because I absolutely love it. It's so great as an alternative to a cardigan, because a cardigan, a lot of the time you've got wool or you've got something a bit chunky, maybe a ponte or something, and you get really warm. But in the summer, this is perfect. Just chuck it on over a t-shirt, over a vest top, which is how I've been wearing it. You know, a big chunky necklace, and that's how I wore it in Cornwall. I literally just put on white t-shirt, this chunky necklace, jeans, and off I went. So it was perfect for that. Even though it was kind of showery, it wasn't particularly cold. So I just chucked it on. It also kind of doubles up as a robe as well. If you're going away and you made the longer version, you could totally use it as a robe. You know, just if you had your pyjamas on or whatever and you're a little bit chilly. So this was the Sew Over It Kimono, which is the PDF pattern. It's really easy, really brilliant. And in fact, when I went to the handmade fair, I'll do a little spiel about the handmade fair another time. But when I went, I met Louise and I met Lisa, and they were both saying, oh, it's such a gorgeous fabric, and that it was lovely. So I was really pleased with that, because I think I did it justice by using the French seams in it and making it a little bit, sort of elevating it a little higher. So with that in mind, excuse me, taking this off, dripping on YouTube. So I do have a little bit of video from Cornwall. They had, our room was amazing. We stayed in a little flat, so it was a 2-bedroom flat, and we had little fishies on the walls, and I had a really cool industrial looking metal wardrobe. So what I've done is I did a little bit of filming with everything in situ, so you can see everything coordinating, and I kind of just talked you through as I flicked through the rail. So I will add that to this video so you can see. Okay guys, so here is my Cornish capsule. So I've hung them up to give you an idea of what I brought with me. Some of these were previously sewn, some of you might have noticed. I didn't manage to do a couple of items, but I thought I'd give you a quick run through while we were actually still in Cornwall as to what garments I've made. Okay, so first up is a Lark Tee in the Scopolos print that I was gushing about before. I really love this one. It's going to be something that I wear really often. I've definitely picked a really good print for my lifestyle and my kind of style in general. I wear a lot of jewels, flowery type things. Sorry if it's shaking a little bit, it's me holding the camera. So that is the Lark Tee in the Scopolos print. Then we have my previously sewn Driftless cardigan made from a grey marl that's really brushed and lovely. I've worn this a lot on the beach because it's been really windy and rainy and horrible most of the week. So that was a previously sewn but has been very well worn this holiday. Next up is another Lark Tee. So this is one of my neon stripe ones that I wear a lot at home. This one's been really good as well, just to give me a kind of tee to chuck on. It's the same, exactly the same view as the other one, so it's cap sleeve, round neck. This is one to show you just the hole in my wardrobe that I didn't manage to do just before we left. Was I was sewing up a Agnes tee in this blue colour. Unfortunately didn't manage to finish it in time, so I've just got a gap one there to sort of illustrate the colour that I was going for, and that one's kind of filled in as my Agnes tee, which is just got the hems to go and the ruching at the front. So I just ran out of time. I was sewing it sort of hours before we started to pack, so didn't quite manage to do that one. Behind it is Lark Tee number 3. This is also previously sewn. This has been brilliant because it's long sleeve, and the boatneck version, it's gone under loads of different things. It's perfect to layer up, and I've worn this quite a lot in the holiday. Next is previously sewn Santorini Ogden Cami. So I'm trying to get my previously sewns out of the way, I guess, first. This has been worn a lot with, as you can see behind it, the Sew Over It Kimono. I've worn it out for dinner. In fact, I'm going to wear it out for dinner on our last night tonight. So that's my Santorini Ogden Cami, which is in a crepe. Okay, so we're starting to get to the newbies now. So the previously sewns are out of the way. This is the Sew Over It kimono in my lovely Delft blue that I was showing you guys on a fabric haul recently. It's gorgeous. It's all French seamed. Sometimes I keep forgetting which way around it goes. It's gorgeously floaty. Unfortunately, we've not really had the weather for me to wear it as much as I wanted to, but I think it will definitely be a perfect spring summer staple, and it's definitely going to be in my wardrobe for a long time. And also, excuse my arm, it looks great with my Ogden cami. This is what I'm wearing for dinner tonight with a lovely chunky necklace. Okay, next up then is my Tilly and the Buttons Cleo. So I really didn't know if I would like this one, but I'm really pleased to say that I love it. It's in a Stanton denim from Village Haberdashery. I've top stitched in a kind of orangey coppery tone. Really pleased with my top stitching, even down to where it crosses at the hem. So I've actually worn this loads more than I thought I would, because it's been so rainy and miserable. I've been able to layer it up. As you can see, it goes really well with the Scopolos print underneath it. So I've been wearing the t-shirt a lot underneath, as well as my other stripy t-shirts. So I've worn it with all of my larks, 1, 2 and 3. I've worn it with my cobalt blue t-shirt that will be my Agnes, so that's I know that that goes well. Really pleased with it. It fits really well, and it's a really gorgeous staple, which I was surprised that it was going to be a staple, but it definitely is. Okay, so next up is my Scopolos tea dress. So this is from Dixie DIY. It's just a free pattern you can download, and I think she's got a small, medium and a large. So I cut the medium, but I lengthened it because if you remember on a previous video I said I'd made it and it was scandalously short, so I've added 4 inches here just to give you a bit of an idea. Okay, so next up, it's a little bit crinkled, I'm sorry about that, it's just because I've worn it a little. This is my Kalle shirt dress. As the eagle-eyed among you will remember, I said I was going to use my Atelier Brunette double gauze, but unfortunately I ran out of time to sew that one up. This was my wearable muslin in a peachy herringbone kind of colour, and I really love it, and it's a really gorgeous pattern, and I definitely will be making a shirt in the Atelier Brunette, but I just didn't have time before we got to Cornwall. But I did have time to get a wearable muslin going, and actually it does tone in really well with the rest of the collection, so I'm happy with that. I'm calling it a win. And the last one out of my Cornwall collection is my Ladies and Gentlemen Ogden Cami, which I'm really pleased with. I went back to the original size that I had, and it is still too big, but I think I worked out that I had been using the wrong seam allowance on my other ones, so I think I've fixed that really, so that's brilliant, and it is still totally wearable. It's really gorgeous, soft, beautiful crepe, and I did wear this out for dinner, I think the second night we got here, and it is really lovely and drapey and gorgeous. There's not much to say about an Ogden Cami because they are so wearable. So that is my Ogden Cami, which totals my, so I think this makes a great cohesive wardrobe. I'm really pleased with the Scopolos print being kind of the star of the show. I would have liked to get a few other things finished, including my ginger jeans, but unfortunately my ginger jeans were a little bit tight, so I didn't finish those in order to finish other things in time for Cornwall. So I've actually managed to sew 6 garments in time for Cornwall, and then I've used other handmade clothes to complement them. So I've taken a few different photos with different garments together so you can get a kind of an idea. But I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry I didn't get absolutely everything done. Time gets you sometimes, and I've not been on YouTube for a little while because we've just had the bathroom done. So everything in my sewing room sort of was thrown into chaos. But I've had a big clear out, and hopefully that means that it's more videos and more sewing time and all of that. I'm gonna start thinking about my autumn winter plans soon. I know it's the end of September, but you know, we all get there in the end. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can always find me on Instagram at bbhandmadedress, and always on my blog bbshandmadedress.blogspot.com. So I hope everyone has a great day. Please let me know in the comments below if there's anything you like or you want to chat about, or you've got any questions about any of the patterns. I will link those down in the description below. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye!